She pauses for a moment, suddenly looking a little lost. That said, Hanako usually comes into town with me. I'm gonna check the recording real quick, hang on. And as it turns out, the music is way too loud from my last check. That's weird. Settings must have overwritten or something. That said, Hanako usually comes into town with me. Ah, not lost, but worried. The two do seem to keep pretty close tabs on one another. It's kind of surprising that Hanako would just forget Lilly like that. I noticed her reading in the library. She probably just got caught up in a book. She lets out a small sigh of relief. Thank you, she has a habit of doing that. Checking my time schedule, I apologize. Thank you, she has a habit of doing that. I have way too many things on my mind right now, I apologize. Avid reader? Right, she doesn't like being around crowds of people, so reading away from everyone lets her relax a bit. Although she probably didn't intend it, I can't help but grimace as I recall my first meeting with her. Hardly wanting to bring it up, I remain silent as we quietly continued to walk down the quiet road. Tack, 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 tack. With the road bereaved? I've never seen that word before. Bereaved of cars and the students of Yamaku, increasingly far behind us. The quiet rustling of the leaves and the measured tapping of Lilly's cane against the sidewalk are all that can be heard. It's kind of nice, especially compared to the hustle and bustle of where I used to live. Before I know it, I've relaxed so much that a loud yawn escapes before I can control it. That's about here, like if you look here, that's basically where I live looks like. If you look up Albuquerque and then look up the Sandia Mountains, like no matter where you turn, because we're in this big bowl, right? And everywhere else is just these beautiful mountains. And like all this vegetation that you would see. Not trees. They're not trees. No. Throw the trees out the window. They have these... Well, they are trees. They're I guess you could call them trees, but they're these twisted, gnarled little bush-looking things, but they really are trees, but they're so twisted and gnarled from the wind, because it's fucking windy here. We usually get like 50 miles per hour. That's tame wind for us. But it just gets so twisted and gnarled, and they just look like these little bushes all over. So that's an interesting little tidbit of where I live, so we shall continue. Tired? Yeah, I've been running ragged in these past few days. That's an understatement, to be sure. Transferring into a different school would be bad enough, but nothing like this. Well, hopefully everything should settle down for you. The festival got everyone in a spin right now, and you've been plopped right in the middle of things. For a moment, I hesitated. That came out unexpectedly. For a moment, I hesitate. But given her apparent tolerance for frankness, I decide to give my full thoughts. I guess Yamaku's kind of different, though. I mean, the formality surrounding everything, the isolation around it, not to mention the most obvious difference. It's kind of a whole different mindset. I suppose I'll get used to it, though, in time. She gives a matter-of-fact nod, apparently pleased with my answer. It feels almost as if she's included me in the flock of students she's shepherding, along with Class 3-2 and Tsunako. Well, not that I mind. It's nice to get the thoughts off my chest in any case. Looking on the bright side, one could see it as a chance for a new beginning. You should cherish the ability to make new friends. That's optimistic. Nonetheless, it's good to have a positive attitude about such things, I suppose. I guess that's a good take on it. Walking down the road, she seems to become somewhat unsettled before I can ask what's on her mind. She seems to collect herself and speaks up about something else. So where in town are we going? Where in town were you going? That's actually a pretty good question. I'd come in to buy food, but the layout of the place is still totally foreign for me. I'd intended to just wander around and see what I could find. but with sunset already approaching and nightfall too far away, that doesn't seem very wise. So, hang on. This is one of the worst situations I've ever seen in my life. One person does not know where they are, and the other person is blind and therefore doesn't know where they are. Or, well, maybe she does. I'm not sure, but it doesn't seem very good to me. I'm going to ask her for directions again. I was just going to get some food, but now that you mention it, I don't really know the way. Well, now, this is quite lucky. I was just about to go to the convenience store myself. Looks like I'll be in your care again then. Thanks. Together we walk to the store, and my pace is carefully slowed to remain beside her. Compared to my usual walking pace, hers is quite a bit slower. Not that it's without reason. This silence is so unnerving. Where is the music? The nice, happy, chipper, just very lovely music is just gone. Non-existent, and it scares me. Thank you. After what couldn't be more than several minutes, I catch sight of our objective. This town really is pretty small. Without further ado, we make our way inside with a greeting from the counter. What kind of food do they have there? Let's see, ramen. It looks like olive oil and some other weird, or some type of oils and cooking supplies. And drinks. This is a Japanese store, I guess. But it also has English, so that makes me question. It might be from like Chinatown or something. Mind if I tag along with you? Usually Hanako would help me, but seeing as she's not here. It takes a moment before I realize what she means. Considering she wouldn't be able to read any of the labels, shopping without any help would be a big pain for her. That said, I can't shake the feeling that she'd had this idea since I said I was coming here. Sure, it'd be my pleasure. So what? Wow, he's making it. These women are using me. How dare they? When you used her for the fucking directions. What an asshole. I grabbed 2 well-used red baskets from the small stack beside the entrance, handing one to Lilly. She lays it on the ground, putting her school bag in, retracting her cane, and sliding it through the basket's handles before picking it up in her right hand. Wait, if she doesn't use her cane... Before I can complete the thought, she comes beside me and pinches the cuff of my uniform with her slender fingers. Slenderman. Is this alright? Sure. I have no reason not to accept. I can think of worse things than shopping with a pretty girl holding onto me. Even if it's out of necessity. We navigate our way through the store, with not one of the occasional passing customers seeming to bat an eyelid. Considering how close Yamaku is, I guess seeing students from there must be entirely normal for the local residents. Tolerance! As we reach each aisle, close enough, I quickly check with Lilly and find out what she needs. I grab it along with what I'm looking for and put our items into their respective baskets. That's like one of those traps, one of those like literary traps where it's like, you know, it leaves a word out or doubles the word and your mind reads it anyway, as just because you know the saying or you know it, and therefore you don't actually read it that well. You just kind of, your mind basically guesses. And I guess that's what happened there. Tea. Iced tea. Lovely. I grab it along with what I'm looking for and put our items into their respective baskets. I guess it's the same routine she and Hanako follow every day. Right, all that's left is the bread, and that should be my shopping done. Do you need anything else, Lilly? No, this should be everything. Off we go then. With a quick side trip to the bakery section, we make our way to the registers. My question is like with paper money, how does she know if it, like, you know, she walks up, she reaches into her purse or what, her little wallet or whatever the hell she's using, and pulls out money, like paper money. How does she know if she's like giving them 100 or ones or whatever, and just be like, there you go, that'll cover it, and it's like $400, and the person at the counter is like, oh yeah, thank you, yeah, so here's your change, gives her a couple cents, and is like, yep, that'll cover it, bye. The line, thankfully, is almost non-existent. It's not long before we both paid for our food and are out the door. As Lilly retrieves her cane and extends it to full length, I waste a minute looking upwards at the night sky while holding both our bags. I wish I could see stars like that. Like, that little star right there would probably be the only one in the sky here. For a moment, I try to make clouds with my breath, but the summer heat doesn't seem to cooperate. Eventually, she rights herself, taking a quick stretch before taking her bag and leaving me to my two. You tired as well? The festival preparations have been complete chaos. Shizune breathing down my neck doesn't exactly help things either. She looks like dead inside, like depressed, like, I don't want to live anymore. Please kill me. Please. I don't want this anymore. Hey, she's only trying to get everything organized. Better now than later, right? I suppose I'm not going to enjoy relaxing in town tomorrow, that's for certain. I guess the festival preparations must be taking a toll on both of them. We walk out into the quiet street, talking between ourselves as we carry our bags of food and supplies from the store. Wait, what's that? I notice a very distinctive figure making its way towards us. It's... wow, what a dick. Anyway, silhouetted by the street lamps. For a second, I think it's another male student from my class, but as he, or should I say she, gets closer, I recognize her quickly. Rin, what are you doing out here so late? I'm psychic, and I've read this a lot. Rin? Lilly perks her head, looking like she's trying to focus on listening more keenly. It suddenly comes to me that I should probably interpret the scene for her. It's Rin. Tezuka, I think, was her last name, from our school. She stiffens at the name and gives a complicated-looking expression. Something like a forced fusion of a composed smile and a painful cringe. Ah, I understand. I guess Lilly knows Rin, too. Rin turns to look at us, looking terribly out of it. I'm not entirely sure if she recognizes either of us, or at least she doesn't acknowledge it if she does. She looks like a zombie, or a statue of a zombie. But slowly, some symptoms of understanding seem to light in her eyes. This is something she must react to. Rin blinks once, very thoroughly. Hello. Every time. There's an awkward pause, everyone waiting for someone to say something. Please, no more ellipses. What are you doing here this late? Why? Why does this game have to do this to me? That made my throat itchy. I'm angry now. I was wondering about that myself too just now. Some people asked that just before. I assumed they were wondering the same. I didn't know. They didn't know either. I asked. That's why I'm wondering. So that was pretty much it. It's a murder mystery without a murder. This fucking dialogue. They were going that way. And this, children, or I don't know. I'm thinking of playing Fallout 3 after this, so I'm thinking of 3 Dog 2. But anyway, they were going that way. This is why I don't pick Shizune's path, because ellipses is everywhere. She turns, facing to her right in order to demonstrate the direction the other people went, as if this was important. Then rotates back like a mechanical puppet in one of those overly complicated clockworks. For a person who gives an impression of being the quiet type, Rin really doesn't use a lot of words to say things that don't need a lot to be said. Rin really does use a lot of words, actually. Unsure if she's finished if I say nothing. Neither does Lilly, who seems equally robbed of words for the time being. I think that both of us are in fact just scared that any response might provoke her to continue. Our stupefied lack of reaction doesn't faze Rin at all. She keeps looking at us expectantly, a calm hint of expression on her blank face. She seems to be that kind of person, always so relaxed. As if bull elephant grade sedatives were flowing in her veins in the place of blood. Do you have amnesia? I don't recall you having anything of the sort, though. No, I don't think it's that. The other passerby were probably just worried, though. You do look really lost, the way you're standing in the middle of the street. Oh, I see. Maybe I should have taken some other kind of pose in that case. I ponder for a while whether I should chase this angle further or give up for the sake of my own sanity. I decide on the latter. She seems that most of the time it's better not to read too deeply into what Rin is babbling about. Talking with Rin is like playing chess with a supercomputer who does seemingly completely random moves, as if to mock everything you know about chess. It's like that, except with human interaction. And even if I win, it feels like losing. Damn, it's just like Kenji said, even if I win, I lose. Is this the power of the girls of Yamaku?